Welcome to the Explainer. Generative AI feels like it's absolutely everywhere these days, but how does it actually work? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and really demystify this whole thing. We're going to move past all the buzzwords and give you a super clear framework for understanding how it's all put together, right from the ground up.
I mean, it's so easy to feel like it's some kind of magic, right? You just give it a simple prompt and bam, out comes this incredible poem or a stunning image or even working code. It really does feel like this mysterious black box. So what's actually going on inside?
Well, here's the thing. It's not magic at all. Today, we're going to peek at the blueprints. And what you'll see is that it's actually a really logical stack of building blocks. Think of it just like building a house, from the foundation all the way to the roof. Each layer has its own distinct and totally vital purpose.
Okay, so let's dive right in. The key to really getting your head around Gen AI is to see it as this stack of 5 core layers. Once you understand this structure, everything else just clicks into place. You'll see exactly how all the pieces fit together to make the tools we're all using. So here they are. The 5 building blocks. At the very top, you've got applications, then agents, the platform, the models, and holding it all up, the infrastructure. And just like we talked about, we're going to tackle this like we're building a house, starting with that solid foundation, the infrastructure, and working our way all the way up to the part you actually see and touch, the application. All right, first things first, the foundation. Every strong building needs a solid one, right? And in the world of Gen AI, that foundation is really made of 2 things: raw brute force power, and a super powerful specialized brain. So let's start with the infrastructure. Just think of this as the plot of land you're building on, the power grid you're hooking up to, and all the heavy machinery. It's the absolute essential power plant for everything else. I mean it. Without this layer, nothing, and I mean nothing, happens.
Okay, so this layer is all about the raw horsepower. We are talking about absolutely massive server farms, just packed with specialized processors like GPUs and TPUs. Now, unlike the processor in your laptop that kind of does one thing at a time, these things are built to handle thousands of calculations all at once, which is exactly what AI needs to function. And here's the really crucial point. Your choice of infrastructure, whether it's from big players like AWS, Google, or Microsoft, is going to dictate the power, the scale, and the cost of your entire AI project. It's a huge decision.
So if the infrastructure is the power plant, then the model is the specialized brain we're putting inside our building. This is that complex algorithm, that neural network that's been trained on just an unbelievable amount of data. Its whole job is to recognize patterns and then generate brand new, original stuff based on what it's learned. And just like you'd hire different experts for different jobs on a construction site, there are different AI brains for different tasks. You've got your large language models, your LLMs, which are absolute masters of text. Then you've got models that are basically brilliant artists trained on millions of images. And you've got others that act like expert shoppers, powering those recommendation systems we see everywhere. Each one is a specialist. And a huge strategic decision for anyone building with AI is whether to use a proprietary model from a company like OpenAI or to go with an open source one.
Okay, so we've got our foundation and we've got a brain. Now we need a workshop, right? A place to actually build something useful with all this power. And that brings us to the next layer, the platform. This layer is basically a fully equipped workbench. It gives developers all the tools they need. Things like APIs, data management, deployment services, the whole shebang. It's what lets them connect that powerful brain to the outside world, manage it, and, actually build on top of it. All right, let's keep moving up the stack. Now we're going to see how all this stuff actually turns into something that can perform tasks and interact with us. This is where we meet the workers of the Gen AI world, the agents and the applications.
Now, this brings us to a really, really important distinction that honestly trips a lot of people up. The model, remember, is the brain. It's the part that thinks and generates ideas. But the agent is the worker. It takes what the brain comes up with and actually uses it, along with other tools, to get a specific job done. It's the crucial difference between thinking and doing. And that right there is why agents are so exciting. They can plan, they can execute tasks with multiple steps, and they can act on your behalf. They're what moves AI from just answering questions to actively solving problems for you.
And finally, we've made it to the very top of the stack, the application. This is the finished product. It's the storefront, the front door, the little chatbot window you type your questions into. It's the actual website or app that you see and use, and it brings all the power of those layers below it right to your fingertips.
Okay, so we've looked at all the individual layers. Now let's see how they all work together seamlessly in a real-world example I think we can all relate to, booking a flight online using a chatbot.
And here it is, the entire process in action. It all starts with you, right at the top, talking to the application, in this case, the chatbot. Your request, "Find me a flight," kicks off one or more agents that act like little travel coordinators. They use the platform's tools and APIs to go check all the flight databases. Then, the model, the brain, processes all of that information and creates a helpful, natural-sounding response just for you. And the amazing part? This all happens in seconds, powered by that massive foundational infrastructure at the very bottom. It's incredible, right? Your simple question triggers this entire journey down and right back up the stack.
So, what's the big takeaway here? It's this. Once you understand these building blocks, you're not just a passive user of AI anymore. Not at all. You're empowered to think critically about it, to make smarter decisions, and maybe, just maybe, to start imagining completely new ways you can innovate with this technology. So really, the final question isn't just what is Gen AI? It's, now that you've seen how it's constructed, from the very foundation all the way to the rooftop, what problems are you going to solve with it? What will you build? Thanks for watching The Explainer.